Okay, family, I'm back at it again with another quick affiliate marketing food for action message. Now, this right here is inspired by a post that I seen from one of a well-known, or I should say, he's fairly well known. He's well known to me, and he's well known to a few other people, online marketers, and we're connected online. And he creates great content, and I wanted to share this one post from him just exclusively with you here in the private group because it's very valuable, and it's not for everybody to see. And what I'm about to explain to you is something that it's one of those keys to success that, once again, is not for everybody. And in some way it could be seen as pulling back the curtain and exposing something that most content creators or most online marketers really don't want exposed. But for you guys, I want to actually dive deep into it and expose it just to the private community, right? So this particular post is from Wong Alex Benson. Now, he did a very great job. This right here is the type of post that gets engagement and it gets reactions from followers. So I want you to pay attention to it, and I want you to be able to identify how you can actually recreate this particular post and use it for your benefit. So let's go over it. So, first and foremost, you see there's a very engaging picture right here. Of course, this is an AI generated picture, and I guess you would say you can consider this to be an AI avatar. Now, this right here is what you would call a scroll stopper. Not only because of the woman in the picture, but of course the woman is the main attraction. It's kind of like the classic car commercial where you see the woman standing next to the car or sitting on top of the car, but she's one aspect of the scroll stopper. The other aspect is the overall environment. She's in a bathroom, so you can see the shower behind her. You can see a toilet. You can see all of the indicators that says that she's in a bathroom, which, you know, is a different type of scenery. So people might be, stop the scroll just to see, hey, what is this woman doing here in the bathroom? What are all the elements here? And it might be enough to grab the attention to stop the scroll. So as it's scrolling down and you see the woman, then you have the text below it. This is where the message really is. So it says here, I gave Claude Cowork a $750 budget and told it to make money. 30 days later, it returned with $11,000. Here's what it did each day. Awesome. So this is the post. Now we're going to dive into what exactly this post is saying, why is it so good, and why you should actually recreate content like this. Now, he left it open-ended on the picture itself, right? He left it open-ended by saying, here's what it did each day. And then he started to close the loop, so to speak, in the comment section. So we're going to start off with the first comment. So he put day one, niche selection, cost $0. Claude analyzed 847 active YouTube channels, cross-referenced RPM, data, subscriber growth, velocity, and upload frequency. It flagged personal finance, AI tools, and stoicism as the three highest opportunity niches, all above $8 RPM, all underserved relative to search demand. Channel created. Okay, so what I also did was, since I already understood the philosophy behind this, I started to communicate with one of my favorite business partners, which is the AI. And specifically, I communicated with Copilot. And I wanted to ask it what its opinion of this particular post was, just so that we can go back and forth and have a discussion. So it says here, the truth about that post. It's engineered as a case study fantasy, not a lie, a story structure. It's built to make the reader think, damn, maybe I'm missing out on something. The screenshots you saw, day 1, day 2 through 5, etc., are not proof of earnings. They're a process narrative. It's a journey post, not a results post. It says here, creators use this format because it triggers curiosity, FOMO, which is fear of missing out. What tool did he use? What steps did he follow? And can I copy this? It goes on to say that it's the same psychology as fitness transformations. The story sells the solution. And let's see what else we have here. So it says that the $11,000 didn't come from Claude, it came from the funnel. Here's the part most people miss: the money didn't come from the YouTube channel, the money came from the training he's selling. The post is a lead magnet disguised as a case study. The real revenue sources likely were course sales, affiliate commissions, upsells, coaching, email follow ups, retargeting ads, and high ticket back end offers. The Claude made $11,000 is just the hook. The training is the monetization engine. Now let's look at the other posts here. So it says day 2 through 5, competitive intelligence. So cost $0. Claude pulled the top 50 videos across 12 competitor channels. It identified that videos between 9 to 14 minutes with curiosity gap titles were averaging 340% higher CTR than the niche baseline. Hook length under 12 seconds correlated with 60% plus retention at the 30% mark. That became the content blueprint. Okay, now it's a lot of numbers in there, and for some people it can get confusing. And that's part of the psychology. Part of the psychology is that it's confusing enough and technical enough, which of course we always know. People tell us, hey, you don't have to be tech savvy, and they usually tell you, hey, we know you're not tech savvy, and they target people that aren't so tech savvy so that they can give them, guess you can say, high level or low level tech information, making them feel as though, hey, this is something complicated. So with these numbers and these stats and everything, stats and numbers don't lie. That's one of the old sayings. So when you see numbers and stats and high percentages, you start to think to yourself, man, this sounds like something that actually works, that's been proven, that might have been studied at Harvard and Princeton, whatever universities where people with high degrees and know about statistics and analytics, that they studied this stuff. So it must be correct. But it tells you a lot of valuable information. And just to simplify it's something that you as a content creator deal with on a daily basis. If you post content mainly video based, let's say your content is 1 minute long, your goal is to make sure that, of course, you're creating engaging content. But of course, within that first 3 seconds or so is where things start to taper off. So if you look at your analytics in Facebook, for example, you'll notice that after the 3 second mark, and matter of fact, Facebook has a section in the analytics that just talks about how many people watch for 3 seconds, because that's a very important target point. If you can get beyond 3 seconds, then more than likely people will stay, for a little bit longer watching your video. And that indicates to Facebook that, hey, this right here has a strong hook that people are interested in. And maybe we should share this with a lot more people to see if they actually engage with it, if they're willing to stay and look and watch the video for longer. So when it talks about 12 seconds correlated with 60% plus retention at the 30% mark, okay, that just means, hey, if it was 100 minutes long or 100 seconds long, then at 30 seconds, this is what has been gauged. This is what they looked at 30 seconds worth. And at 30 seconds or so, it was still a 60+% retention, which means that the content is pretty good. Now, for a lot of content creators, after 3 seconds, that 3 second mark, if your hook isn't strong enough, you can start to fall well below 50% retention. And then the rest of your video starts to flatline. It's just like a downward slope. So it's saying here that that became the content blueprint, which for analytical people, they might say, hey, this is very interesting. This is something that, I've studied and I looked at, and I want to get 340% higher CTR. CTR, click through rate, right? So that right there is very valuable. And let's look at the next message. So it says day 6 through 15. Full production cost $75 per video. So it says scripts built with retention hooks every 90 seconds. 11 labs, voiceover direction, clone to niche tone, B-roll briefs for pixels and Pixabay scene by scene, titles, descriptions, tags written for search intent. Vetted Upwork editors handled final assembly at $25 per video. Claude's briefs were so detailed they had 0 creative decisions to make. 10 videos, $500 in editing, $250 in tools, $750 total. Now, that's a lot of spend. That's a lot of investment. But when you're talking about building a profitable business, the one thing that people try to avoid the most is making an investment into their business. That's something that you're going to have to do. Now, you can invest in your business a few different ways. Financially is one of the main ways that you can really invest in your business and make it profitable. Time is another major way that you can invest in your business. Now, if you're willing to invest your time into learning valuable skills, then you can lower the cost of financial investment, right? But it's a trade-off. Time for money, money for time. So what could cost you possibly $750 for someone else to do and do it in their time frame and free you up to be able to do other things, you can actually learn how to do these things, and it could possibly be more cost effective if you do it yourself. So if you're someone like me, for example, and let's dissect this. So it says scripts built with retention hooks every 90 seconds. Okay, so we can use AI to actually create scripts that's built with retention hooks every 90 seconds, right? So we can use AI for that, and there's some free AI tools for that. Then it says here 11 Labs voiceover direction. So 11 Labs is a popular AI tool that is good at cloning voices, right? Being able to have AI avatars. Well, you know that some of my favorite tools, allow you to be able to clone your own voice. But unlike 11 Labs, which charges you a monthly fee and also limits you with credit limits, if you're trying to build a business and you need to create a lot of content, 11 Labs might not be the direction for you because the cost aspect is going to be a lot higher than it is if you were to use one of the tools that I use on a daily basis, which is a one-time cost, lifetime investment, and no credit limit, right? And then it goes into B-roll, right? So B-roll briefs for Pexels. So Pexels is a website where you can get B-roll videos. There are already videos there that you can download. So Pexels is one, Pixabay is another, and there's a few other websites that you can actually download what they call royalty-free videos from. Now, that's pretty fast and easy, but the one thing that is not so great about these sites is that there's thousands and thousands of pictures and videos and B-rolls that you can use, but for the majority of the time, a lot of the popular ones that you might like are a lot of the same ones that other people might like. Now, when was the last time you pulled up somebody's video and you watched it and you saw a B-roll in it and you said, man, I used that same B-roll in my video, or I saw that B-roll in somebody else's video? Now, there's nothing wrong with it. It means that, hey, that B-roll works and is good for stopping the scroll or, breaking up the video and helping you maintain that that um that watch percentage so that people don't scroll away. But what if you had an AI tool that can generate videos, B-roll for you, that were all original, that weren't something that you would see in somebody else scroll stopping videos, kind of like what we create here in the Hustleverse. Now, there's tools that will allow you to create videos with AI, but the majority of them, they come with a monthly fee and also credit limits. But once again, you know that I use a tool specifically that's a lifetime access tool, and it also has unlimited credits, or it doesn't use a credit system at all, right? So if I wanted to make 20, 30 videos in a day, I can actually do that and build out a full-fledged business, right? And create my own B-roll. So that right there is something that can be taken care of. Then titles, descriptions, tags written for search intent, right? Once again, that's AI. AI can help you with that, or you can actually, depending on your expertise, your creativity, you can create your own titles and descriptions yourself. Or you can look at other popular creators, plug those pieces of information into the AI and ask it to create your own variations. Now, this right here is where it starts to get a little expensive down here. Once again, let's talk about Upwork, which Upwork is a popular platform where people can showcase their ability to do certain tasks. It's a place where a lot of people who have editing skills or who simply have various tech skills go to say, hey, I can handle this project for you for a fee. So if you're looking at $25 per video, right? And let's say if you're like me and you're part of a mastermind and they ask you, hey, how many pieces of content a day are you committed to creating? And you say, hey, 2 pieces of content a day minimum. So that means that 2 videos a day, that's $50 a day investment. So at the end of a week or 5 days, if you just go off for 5 days, that right there is $125. Well, no, that right there is $250 because we're doing 2 a day. So $50 a day, 5 days, that's $250 a week that you're investing in having video creation. Whereas you can simply have access to specific tools, learn some valuable skills, and be able to get lifetime access to tools that you pay for one time. And then you use your skills to trade time for that money investment, right? So this right here, and it says here 10 videos, $500 in editing, $250 in tools, $750 total. Once again, right? That sounds pretty reasonable. That sounds pretty standard. But when you have options, then you're able to do things a different way. Now, let's go on to the next one, right? So here we have day 16 through 25. Optimization. Cost, $0. So it says Claude reviewed the first wave of analytics. Videos with titles containing a specific outcome and a number were pulling 8.2% CTR versus the channel average of 3.1%. It reprioritized the remaining content calendar around that format immediately. So once again, just like the AI said, it said that it's basically giving you a structure as to how to create a profitable online business. Video based, YouTube focused, right? So So this right here, once again, it gives some more stats, some more statistics and things like that. But it ultimately still goes back to the videos, titles, and things like that, a specific outcome, things that you can use the AI to help you with analyzing, right? So this stuff is very, very um valuable because in the right hands, a person can take this information and decide to plug it into their, you know, choice of AI, whether it's Claude or if it's Chat GPT or even if it's Copilot, right? And they can be able to use this information to ask for the same type of results in their particular niche. But let's see what this one right here says. Day 26 through 30, scale. So the cost is $0. 3 videos hit 4x more views than the others. Claude identified the common thread, contrarian angle, 11-minute runtime, finance niche, and doubled the next month's output around that exact template. Month one revenue, it says 11K. All right. So it starts to get into somewhat of the results that could come from simply looking at something, implementing the structure of it, getting better results and higher returns. And let me pull that back. Well, let's see this last picture right here, right? Because this ties in everything, and this is what makes everything come to life. This is what should help you solidify that light bulb moment. So it says here that Wong is hosting a live training where he'll show you how he makes 5 figures online using tools just like this. Now, he's going to be giving this training away completely free. And all you have to do is comment guide to secure your spot. Now, just as it stated in the AI breakdown, all of the information that he gave so far was valuable. He has solidified himself as being a person of value, someone that can give you valuable information that actually can help you build your business if you apply it. Now, if he's able to give that much value in this one post, then what other value can he give you in a live training? Now, up until now, everything was free. Even the training that he's going to give is going to be free. But just like in the breakdown from the AI, where did the money possibly come in? Now, even though the post itself is about how Claude turned $750 into $11,000, in that example, in that story example, the main value or the value for Wong in particular is that the information itself sold you on the idea to join the free training. And on the free training, there will be products and services there available to purchase, which, depending on what he has to offer, that can turn into his possible $11,000 payoff just from Claude, from the Claude story, I should say, right? So, with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick affiliate marketing food for action message. And I hope you decide that you want to go deeper into this type of learning. Now, this right here was a breakdown of a simple post, but it's very valuable and it's a very profitable post because not only does it give value in the post, but it also continues to give value because it has a call to action. Whereas 32 people so far has liked it. And let me click like. I'll be the 33rd. And there's 84 comments on this particular post. And if we scroll through, and as he said, comment guide, if you want to join the training, let's look. And if you can see behind me, let me move myself out of the way a little bit. If you see all of these comments for guide. Guide, 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 guide. This was enough of a hook, enough value to get, let's say at least 50 people or so to comment guide. So 50 people will possibly show up for this live training that he's putting on to learn more about what he does and how they can actually acquire the right tools in order to help themselves get results also. And once again, that could possibly result in this $750 budget story turning into a possible $11,000 return for this content creator. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I look forward to seeing you in the next affiliate marketing training. Have a great rest of your day.